This afternoon, members of the Philadelphia Police, the Lower Southampton Police, various fire departments, and search and rescue teams were in the area of Route 1 and Woodhaven Road searching for Cassandra Johnston. During the search this afternoon, members of the Philadelphia Police Marine Unit located the body at the 1200 block of Townsend Road in Philadelphia. The body has not been identified officially as Cassandra Johnston yet, but it appears to match her description, and the Philadelphia Medical Examiner's Office has taken custody of the body. At this time, the family's been notified. They're waiting for a phone call from the MEs to do what they have to do on their end.
Can you walk us through a little bit of the search and how this kind of all unraveled?
Okay, so yesterday, this man to my left here, Kevin Ryan, is a private investigator contracted by the family, was in a private aircraft and spotted a silver rooftop in the area of Route 1 and Woodhaven Road. He went back and looked, saw it was the car we're looking for. He contacted one of my detectives and then called 911. A bunch of us went down there, myself included, yesterday, looked for the car. We couldn't locate Miss Johnston's body. Searched all day yesterday, up until the dark. Went back there this morning, repeated the search again, using various cadaver dogs. Continued searching. We made a request of the Philadelphia Water Department to bring us maps of the various culverts and drain ditches so we can kind of look at it and get a better view. They responded and agreed to escort 2 members of the Philadelphia Police Marine Unit along this creek that runs into the ravine where we found her. We found the car. About 2 hours of searching, they discovered this body, called us, and their ME's taken custody of the body.
How far was the body from where the car was physically located?
Approximately half a mile.
Can you tell us about the condition of the car when you recovered it? Any signs of foul play?
No, the car, it appears that, and you'd have to follow up the Philadelphia Police's accident unit on this. She was heading westbound on Woodhaven Road. It appears she didn't negotiate the curve properly getting off of the ramp. She went down into a culvert, went airborne, up and over the guardrail. She crashed into a tree, probably about 30 foot in the air. We believe she was ejected from the car through the sunroof. And the place where the car landed, what was the distance on that?
49 yards.
49 yards from the roadway to where her car landed. That you couldn't see it from the street or the air. So the theory is on the 12th, if you remember, we had some flooding in the area. We think that culvert filled with water and probably moved her into that creek. So that's why she wound up a half mile, downstream.
You talk about the storms and the weather. Obviously, with the tornadic activity that happened recently, did that aid in the search for the car?
I'm hoping that it did. We had asked the Philadelphia Police Aviation Unit to fly over I-95 on the route that we thought she took. They did it at least twice with no results. We had the tornado last week. I think that it might have knocked some of this higher foliage loose. And when Mr. Ryan's helicopter got there, he could see what he thought was a silver piece of metal. It turned out to be the car.
Mr. Ryan, have you had any contact with the family since this has unfolded, since they've hired you, and unfortunately this seems to be connected to...
I have. Yeah, I had some contact with them last night after we cleared the scene. I did go to the house, and I just explained to them that we're still looking, that the car was verified. It's their car, their daughter's car. I did talk to them this morning and let them know that I was heading to the search location. And I told them I would give them any updates I had, and I updated them pretty much during the day. And then obviously when the call came out that there was a body found by the Marine unit, we just shut all communication down, and I let the chief do his job.
So after you notified them about the body, you have not spoken to them?
Prior to coming here, we were there. I haven't spoken to him since.
Can you comment on, again, just where Casey was found specifically, and maybe any probable causes of death? Was she killed on impact? Was this something of a drowning situation?
No, we're working theory right now. obviously we had to do an autopsy, but the trajectory of that car into that tree, combined with a 30-foot at least fall to the ground and being ejected, I can't believe that she would have survived that accident. I think it was probably quick for her, I hope. The water where they finally found her wasn't really that deep. It might have gotten moved down onto, what day of the week was that?
Monday was the first storm.
I remember. Yeah, one day we had a lot of water down there. That's what our theory is that the water moved her downstream, and then it kind of drained away, obviously, and they were walking that creek, but they found her.
Is it officially the Byberry Creek there? Is it the Bequessing Creek?
I was told they call it the Byberry Creek,
Byberry
and
Creek.
there's two branches of it that run into the Bequessing Creek.
Okay. And was it where exactly was it side of the creek, in the creek? Was there
I don't have that information.
Okay. Anything?
So Ted, you feel like she came off the road, she hit a tree, and then she was ejected and fell 30 feet?
And that's pretty much it. I'm broadly estimating that up over the guardrail into a tree, maybe more than one tree, and then as the car came down, she was ejected at some point during that fall.
She had been missing for a little more than 3 weeks at this point. Can you talk about just the feeling of finding her, bringing a resolution to family, friends, and just concerned people in the area, not knowing what may have happened to her?
Obviously, I'm not going to say for sure it's her yet, because we still have to go through that process. I feel pretty comfortable that it is her. We're glad that we can bring some closure to the family. A lot of phone calls, a lot of work went into this. We're down in the city every single day for the past 3 weeks looking. We got a break yesterday with the helicopter, and I'm glad we can start to wrap this up.
Is it important for the family to hire a private investigator? Is that typical in a missing person?
I was talking to her family today. You know, most of the time we get a missing person, and they're back in a day or two. It's just whatever they're up to, whatever their problem is, it happens. It's very unusual for someone to be missing this long. We were concerned pretty early on, just because of the description of her personality and some other things that just wasn't turning up. So, unfortunately, I think if she had her telephone on her, she lost her phone, we probably would have found her right away. It is what it is.
Was she officially found in Philadelphia? I know it's right on the border there. Is it
It's in Philadelphia, yeah.
The medical examiner from Philly has her right now?
Yes, that's
Okay,
correct.
Got it. Can you talk about as well the support from the community, the number of calls, tips you potentially have received?
Yeah, the phones ringing off the hook. I don't know the number, but I know on some of our social media stuff, people are sending us messages, and we got a lot of crazy tips. We had to go through all of them. I know people are just trying to help, but we got a lot of crazy ones. Right up until today, we're still getting calls in. I think it was nice to see how the community was reaching out to the family and offering support. We went out and they tried to do a search of the local area here, which was fruitless, but they tried. So I was kind of glad to see that people at least wanted to do something. Nowadays, sometimes people get lazy, but everybody got involved in this one.